Hello everyone and welcome back to our super cool UI UX course for beginners. I am so excited to have you here with me today. Today we are going to talk about something really awesome in Figma, and that's frames. But wait, what exactly are frames? Well, imagine you are building a house. You start with a blueprint, right? A blueprint helps you plan where everything goes in the house, like the rooms, the windows, and the doors. Well, frames in Figma are just like blueprints for our design. When we are creating something in Figma, like a website or an app, we need a plan tool. That is where frames come in handy. They help us organize our design elements like buttons, text, and images, just like rooms in a house. Let's get into it.
What are frames in Figma? In this video, I'm going to explain you the actual use of frames in Figma UI designing tool. Even I have written the small definition over here as well. As you can see, frames are kind of a artboard, and even frames allow you to choose an area of the canvas to create your design in. But unlike traditional artboards, you can also nest frames within other frames. Yes, that is possible in Figma. This allows you to create more complex design that work together. Now, you might have understand or you might got a little bit about frames, but to give you a better idea, let me go to Figma tool and I'll explain you what are frames. So guys, as you can see right now I'm in my Figma tool, and when we go on the top right corner, as you can see design file, and when we click here, you'll be able to see the create new file option. So let's just click here so that we can get a new file on Figma, and then I'll explain you the basic work of frames. As you can see, by default right now I am in, let me close this first. Yeah, right now I am in this option, this move option, right? And just in the right side you'll be able to see the frames option. As you can see, this is the frames option. When you click here, this is what the crosshair or the cursor looks like, right? And now here you need to understand the actual use of frames. Basically, this is not the artboard, this is like the work area. As you can see, from here to here, right? This is the work area. But to create some design or to create any kind of design, first we need to get an artboard, right? An artboard can be created through this frames option. As you can see, I've selected the frames option, and if I click here, I'll be able to create a frame over here, as you can see. And even I can select the dimensions as per my choice. As you can see, this is 300 by 300 pixels. As you can see, I can do that, right? Kind of 300 by 300. You have to be more precise to do that, right? Even you can move this frame as well. Now this is the first frame in your Figma file. This is the file you have created. Now whatever the design you want to create, you need to add all the elements, all the design, all the text color under or in this field only, in this area only, right? So this is what the frames is. Now when you click here again, you'll be able to see multiple pre-designated option as well, or you can say pre-created options. Like for the phones, here are the options. Like mostly there are iPhones, iPhone 14, 15 Pro Max, then Pro versions, then only the 13, 14 version, then Plus version, Mini version, SE, then iPhone 8 is also here. Although this is too much old, but obviously if you want to create design for iPhone 8 kind of screens, then you need to select this iPhone 8 Plus, 8, then Android small and Android large is also here. Then we do have tablets option, desktop, then presentation. So tons of options are there if you don't want to go with the manual option by just doing this, right? Now when you select a frame, you'll be able to see the properties of frame as well. As you can see here, these are the properties of frame, right? Now in the properties of frame, first option you'll be able to see the landscape and the portrait option. Right now this is in the portrait option, but if you want you can make it landscape as well, although you will be not able to understand whether it is landscape or portrait because it is a square. Now here you will be able to see that whether it is landscape or portrait, right? Like this. Now even you can increase the x-axis and y-axis as well. Even you can drag it like this. Both the options are here. And even you can increase or decrease the height and width of the frame as well afterwards you have selected the pixels, right? Even you can increase the width by adding some more pixels, and you can increase the height by adding some more pixels, right? You can change the degree as well, as you can see here. You can increase the basically you can curve the corners as well, as you can see, because these days in modern devices, as you know, in iPads or in mobile devices, we have seen that they have curved displays. So that's why this curve option is also here, right? Not curved display, the corner is curved. This is what the properties of frames is, and you can do this customization on all the individual frames. As you can see, you have to do the customization on all the frames individually, right? Now here you'll be able to see the names of these frames. So obviously this is for us to get a good idea about like which frame it is or which frame it is. Let's say I don't want these frames because these are just manually created. I want any pre-created design. So let me just delete this by pressing the delete button on my keyboard. Now I'll go back to again frames option, and this time I'll select iPhone 14 or 15 Pro version, and this is how it looks like. It has 393 pixel wide and 852 pixel height, right? So this is how it looks like. If you want, you can decrease the size of whole screen by here clicking here. Just you can do like, you can go to 60% like this, or you can just press Control button on your keyboard and you can press minus and plus to zoom in and zoom out. And on Mac devices you can press Command plus minus buttons, right? I hope you got the point. Now as you can see, I've selected the frame. Now let's say obviously I need multiple frames. This would be my home screen, then afterwards the add to cart or the product page or something like that, right? So this would be my home screen, right? So obviously I want to change the name of this frame. So how I can do that? Even basically I can double click here, or I can double click here in the layers option, not on the assets option. If you're not able to see the layers, you might be on the assets option. So click on layers, and here you will be able to see all the frames. Right now I do have only one. If you want multiple frames, you need to click here and do like that. And in the same way you can add multiple frames. Even you can select any frame, you can click right over here, right click over here, and you can copy here, copy this frame, and you can paste it here as well, like this, right? So both the options you have. You can manually go to frames and then select the same frame again and again. Otherwise you can just copy and paste multiple times like this, right? So let me just go down here, kind of this. Let me zoom out a little bit so that you can understand. As you can see, right? So I do have frame 1 2 3 4 5. Now obviously I need to name these frames, right? Because it will be more confusing if I go with 1 2 3 4 5, right? So I can just double click here, I can write home, and it will automatically change into home, as you can see. Then I'll select this one, I can double click here as well, and this would be my product page, right? And then this would be my cart, then this would be my payment gateway or gateway page, whatever I want to write over here, like this, right? Now if I want to add more frames, I can do the same procedure. I can follow the same procedure which I followed earlier, right? So this is how you can get your artboard where you will be creating the design, right? You understood what our frames are.
So guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was really helpful and you liked the content, then do not forget to hit the subscribe button and bell icon. We are coming up with more interesting topics in the upcoming videos. Till then, bye bye.